All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are in week 5 of Done Deal. This is officially the last hot seat of the season. If you guys want me to continue doing this in previous season, show some support. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like. Make sure to follow. Because all you guys just viewing and not even fucking following Done Deal. Like, what is this? This is hard work. This is dedication. You know what I could be doing right now? I could be playing Warzone, dropping right now in Superstore. But I'm here with the kid, with, in my opinion, Rookie of the Year, Mr. Number One Seed. With right now, I'm telling everybody he's getting my vote for MVP 100% right now, unless he shits the bed. We have Mr. You know what? Introduce yourself, young man. Let's switch it up. Introduce yourself.
So for all you that don't know me, and for all you that know me, my name is Nico Casares. I am just turned 20 years old, for all you that have been wondering, because Perra doesn't even know my own age after getting it 50 times in the past year. But that's neither here nor there. And I've been playing flag football since I was 4 years old. And
Damn.
this is my first season in Done Deal.
Oh, yeah. First season and Done Deal. So how'd you hear about it?
So similar to everybody else, we were at, I think it was a Monday or Wednesday night. I forgot what it was, but it was the pre-COVID draft. So it was like around March, because I was here from spring break from school. And it was Cece, Timmy, and Kevin talking, because I was filling in for Perra. Perra was on a trip. So it was a Wednesday night, and Kevin was talking about how he's going to make a troll team, getting Timmy in the first, and then getting Perra. He just wanted to troll the whole time.
Right.
And then Cece was like, oh, I want to throw and all this stuff, and I'm going to get Dusty with my first pick. And I was like, what the fuck is this league? Like, what is this? And they're like, oh, it's our Saturday league. There's a bunch of rules and shit to it. But it just kind of like blew over my head. I didn't really think much of it because I'm in school. I'm not even supposed to be here. So then they draft and everything happens, and COVID hits. And then I start working out with CC and Lewis, and they continue talking about DD. And then Lewis drops. John asked me if I want to be a cab, if I can send the money to Andres, all this stuff. And I never do it. Whatever. And I'm just like, all right, whatever. I'll get put on the wait list or whatever it is. And then Remy drops, and I got the call. And after that, it's history. And then I traded the whole team away.
So that's a good thing you should brought up. You just said that Remy drafted. So you get into Done Deal, right? So you join in a very unique way where people, like
I was handed people.
Yeah, you were handed people. You were handed your own team that, let's be honest, would probably look completely different if you drafted, right? Because Remy was drafting from a different perspective than you would have drafted. So in your opinion, right off rip, name me something for sure differently that you would have done with that original drafted team.
Well, two things that stand out right away. If I would have, I'm gonna say as if I kept the same draft spot.
Yes.
No Kieran. I think that was a reach, and I think everybody agrees with me when you have you and Albert there. And then obviously I have no need for Perra. I mean, I'm throwing, so I have no need for him. So replace him with you and Albert, and looks
so okay. So you would have drafted Timmy.
100%.
So you would have drafted Timmy.
Correct.
You would have drafted Albert. So it would have been Nico, Timmy, Albert, and then me.
Correct.
GG's.
We might have gone 16-0.
That probably would have been my second undefeated season in Done Deal history.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's good to know, man. So you said that you're in college, so you play football, right?
Yeah, I play at a Division III school in Washington, D.C.
You start?
No, I'm the backup. We have a senior who's been a 4-year starter since his freshman year, actually.
So how do you feel about that when he moves out? You ready to take that responsibility?
Yeah, I'm ready. It's been a adjusting period, just learning different offenses, going from a high school, like I was really under center and stuff like that, to going into college and being in shotgun all the time and learning hand signals and stuff like that. It was an adjustment.
Nice, man. That's good to know. We got a college quarterback here, So how did you join Grown Ups?
So I was actually filling in for another team that day. Do you know Johan? He plays for Swoosh.
Big guy?
Yeah.
Big guy?
Yeah. Yeah, so he was missing when they had Dynasty. So he had told me, calls me, because I'm super close to him. And he calls me and he goes, yo, I need you to fill in for me on Wednesday night, whatever. And I was like, all right, no heat, I'll go to Trop. And when I was there, it was literally Perra, Timmy, and Ernie. They were going 3 hard on a Wednesday night game. And Ernie had played with me once before at this point because I was picking up a rusher one day at New Year's Bowl or something like that. So I got on, I played with them. And ever since then, Perra invited me onto the team after that. And ever since then, it's history.
Damn, Perra out here inviting everybody to the squad. Huh? That's good. So, in your opinion, who would you cut from grown-ups?
Wow. I think if I had to cut one person, I think it would be Timmy.
Timmy, why?
I think it's he plays center, which we have Revis, who's more agile than him, runs better routes. And on defense, his primary position is a rusher when we have Ernie and Pepito. And that's mind you, because our best rusher, which is Paulie, isn't even rushing. He's playing either center or receiver. So it just seems like there's no need for his spot, even though he does do good things. He doesn't. Well, what is there more for him to do when we have people better at those positions or a plethora of those positions?
Good job, rookie. You answered that question very well. So, from a grown-up's perspective, right? You're the quarterback, obviously. You don't play. You don't play both sides of the ball. So, on offense, name me one player that you do not want to see on offense. Like, that guy should never touch the field on offense.
Pepito.
Why?
Because he's rushing. That's the first thing. And Pep is a little older, as we all know. And he's a very good rusher. And there's no need for him to be on offense when the other only person I could think of would be Ernie. And Ernie's faster than him. And he's younger. So he should be playing offense over Pepito.
So what do you think about Pepito offensively in Dundee?
I think Drew's expecting him to be a tier 1 moss ball when he's not. Bro, I've seen Drew throw him like 5 straight posts or bombs and him being like, Pep, come on, you got to have that. I'm like, bro, he's a rusher. He's not going to come down with fucking one-hand grabs over tier 1s.
So you're pretty much saying like, yeah, they see his height, they see how big he is and stuff. They just expect him to be snagging all these balls like like sometimes what Brett does. Brett does that consistently. You know what I'm saying? He's used to having those type of balls,
correct,
and shit like that. So yeah, no, it makes sense. Always try to put your players in the in the best position that because I feel like he does that with Renee too. And
my thing with Drew is that and it annoys me because I think Drew's a good player, but my thing
great player.
I think that if you draft Chris J, you shouldn't be taking him out at quarterback. You shouldn't be alternating reps because as a quarterback, in my mindset, that messes up the rhythm and flow of the game. So why draft him if you're going to throw?
True. So you're saying that he should have gone somewhere else?
Whatever it is. But if you're going to draft Chris J, who's one of the best two-way players in DD, let him throw.
Right.
Don't break rhythm. Like, it's fine to run the option like what Urbane and Jordan does. That's perfectly okay. But when on third down, it's a big third down play. All right, you're a top 5 receiver in DD, if not higher.
Right.
Why are you taking yourself out of receiver and putting yourself at quarterback?
That makes sense. I mean, yeah, that's I mean, he probably at the moment. I mean, it was actually a good pick, and Chris J actually lost a lot of weight too. And,
I like Chris J a lot.
And he got way better. But I agree with that. How are you gonna have somebody play, let's say, half of a game playing quarterback, and all of a sudden, hey, I'm gonna take over? That actually is funny. That actually happened against our team, and I felt like they just did it to switch something up, to have something to bring more life into the team.
Or maybe Drew's tired or whatever it may be. But if you're going to draft Chris J to play quarterback, you do not mess up a quarterback's rhythm.
Right. Is there any other team off the top of your head that you feel like they messed up in the draft that they should have done differently or something like that?
Including the Panthers or not including the Panthers?
We could talk about the Panthers.
The Panthers, of course. I mean, I think Marshall did right with the first pick because I think he's doing well now running the option. I don't know how they did, but it was hard to stop. Let's be honest, because Marshall's athletic as shit.
Yeah, it's the most athletic person in Dundee for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But drafting Matt was the right decision. But again, it's the same situation that I would have been put in. If I have the opportunity to draft you and Albert, I'm gonna do that instead of and Andres will tell you instead of Marin and Andres. Even though Andres balled this weekend, it's still you and Albert. You get what I'm saying?
Right. So I mean, yeah, it's it happens a lot. Marsh is known for you probably heard it. He's known for drafting extremely
didn't you say that he drafted Jesus?
He drafted Jesus mid-tier 3 one year. Mid-tier 3.
That's really bad.
Yeah. GG's.
And then obviously Chris, CC, fucked up his draft. But
That's another one too. Yeah, I agree. I mean, but
but
look where he is now.
that's what I was gonna say. But he
And he
made
didn't,
sure.
and he's not with another captain. He dug himself out of his hole, and in my opinion, he has a very good team now. They proved it. They're a tough team to beat. They have the speed. They have the height. They have the IQ. And honestly, let's talk about it. Perra on defense clearly was not a huge liability for them to go 3-0.
And the
They
other
won
thing,
3-0.
and the other thing about it is, Berra at tier 5 is great.
100%. Yep.
And that's the biggest thing. Now, their tier 5 is technically a tier 4 in
Right.
Berra, but
Right.
he's a liability or whatever it is because he could cover the other tier 5s. It's not that big of a deal.
What we have to give credit to for that situation, we have to give a huge shout out to Manu. Because Manu, he's really not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's definitely like a mid to late tier 4. Like,
No, he's a tier 4. He's a tier 4.
like he's very good. He's fast. He listens. He's
a
not
good rusher.
selfish. He's a good rusher. He gives it his all. So I think them having Manu at that position it just works perfectly with Perra and stuff like that. So huge credit to CC and putting up that team, because that team's definitely going to be a problem. Very tough
100%.
team to stop. But yeah, shout out to the Steelers there. So
Dude, I tried to trade for Manu since week 1.
really,
Yeah, and Chris D just never said. I was like, bro, get Alec. And
so what was one of the trade offers?
Alec for Manu straight up. I was like, why wouldn't you do it?
You had Alec on your team. That's right.
Week 1. Because of
Wow.
that stupid trade Remy made. But that's neither here nor there.
He should have done that. I mean, Alec is fucking destroying right now.
So now it's Alec throwing to Junior, Bender, and Chris D.
That's
at
not
the
bad.
time.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
And I just did it because Ernie wasn't going to rush for me ever at that point because I needed him to play defense with me.
Right.
So his value at rusher was non-existent. It's not there. So I
Right.
needed to try to go get another rusher to make up for Ernie not being able to rush.
Yep. That makes complete sense. That's a good perspective to have. So is there like a specific player that you had on your team throughout this season? You have to pick one. So you've traded multiple times, right?
Every week.
So player on your team that you did not want to play with.
I did not want to play with Kieran.
Why?
I can't deal this is really, I think Ernie's energy and his energy is different because I like energy. Because I think it elevates everybody around you. But at the same time, his energy is too much to the point where I feel like when I can't control something, that's when shit gets out of hand and when I don't get trusted. Because I saw him multiple times week 2 with JD, where JD would tell him to run something and he wouldn't run it or it was just like too much. Like he would come back arguing for the ball and stuff like that. And I can't deal with that.
So pretty much you're saying you can't have players that are, number one, selfish, number one, that are too vocal, but in his sense, in a negative way. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Like, yo, I need the fucking ball now, or we need to do this.
This week, Ant Nunez came back and he talks after every play to tell me what he sees. I'm more than okay with that because I want to know what's going through your eyes as well. If you want to make a read here or this and that, but when you're coming back and asking for the ball and this and that, no, that doesn't work with me.
Right. So you made a huge trade, right? This last trade. I think this last trade was very big.
Which one? The one before the deadline?
The one before the deadline. The one that you received, Anthony Nunez. So please, there was like a lot of slack. Even Yon made this whole thing on WhatsApp that he sent with the shitty ass handwriting with all the players and whatever the fuck that was. But I want to hear from your perspective. What was your mindset? What was your thought on the trade? Why did you do it? What made you, make those decisions?
Okay, so 2 things. First, 3. I've traded every week. Everyone knows that. I would literally type in the captain's chat, who's bored? I want to make a trade. I get bored. With my daily life. Just like trading's fun to me. This is different. That's what makes Done Deal so different, is the trading, is that aspect of it. So right before the deadline, I knew I had to make a move because my team with Marcos, Albert, and Andy, I have the speed aspect. I have Albert eating, and then my chemistry with Andy is great because of grown-ups.
Right.
So I was really comfortable with that team, and I love Charlie at tier 5. So I was really comfortable with that team. I'm not saying I wouldn't have traded, but I'm saying that I would have been comfortable staying as is.
Right.
But now Albert getting bumped up to my tier 2, JP, who hasn't played the whole year, who I've never seen, and now I have Andy and Charlie. I'm like, okay, I look really slow. I get a rusher, but I get someone who I haven't seen play and who hasn't played the whole year. So who God knows what's going to happen. Right. So I was like, I knew I had to make a move. And I was trying to move the whole time. Matt was telling me that he was thinking about moving Chris D and all this stuff. So 10 minutes before the trade deadline, I call Matt and I'm like, David finally agrees to do this trade. Because David had told me a while that he wanted Chris D, but he wanted to keep, he didn't want 2 tier 5s.
Right.
So I call Matt and I'm like, look, David finally agreed. Do you want Ham and Albert? And he says, yes. Of course, because I agree with what Joan said, is the fact that it is an upgrade of who he's throwing to compared to what he had before. Now, at the same time, this was 10 minutes before the deadline, and Chris D was about a Bender had called saying he wanted Marshall for Matt straight up. 10 minutes before the trade deadline. I sent out a trade to Andres at 7:54. Matt tells me, yes, I'm in. I send the trade in. It happens, and we go 3-0. I think I needed to make the trade deal. I needed to get faster. That's the first thing. And Nunez is faster than Albert. Let's just call it what it is. But I love Albert still. Andres is deceptively fast, and Kenny's a reliable tier 5. I like Charlie a little bit more at tier 5.
Way more.
I agree.
It's my boy.
But I'm super happy with the way this team planned out, and dude, it showed. We went 3-0, and we.
So yeah, the huge thing is we see Albert. He's having a career year in done deal, never seen before. It's
27 TDs.
It's satanic. It's literally satanic, right? So Albert comes into done deal in the best shape I've ever seen him in. I don't know what shape he used to be back then. I haven't known him for a long time. Number one, Albert personally is top 5 my favorite done deal players that I've met this year.
He might be top. Yeah, he's probably top 3 for me.
He's a great guy. Great person. Doesn't complain. Doesn't bitch. He's
smart,
literally
has IQ.
Done deal material. You know what I'm saying? Those 100%. Are people that you would want to play with. People like him. People like Chris Marin. Like nice people like that. Like awesome, right? Now you go and you trade for Ant Nunez. That was a big thing. So in my opinion, they're extremely equal. I don't know why I might give the edge to Albert. But comparing Ant Nunez to Albert, why do you think Ant Nunez is more valuable for your team? Because clearly that was more important. You said it was a little bit faster, but in my opinion, I think your team would have been fine. I don't think you really needed Anthony Nunez. He's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but I just feel like the things that Albert gives you is just a more 100% thing. Like his hands are super secure. Yeah. Route running has been very good. I mean, the kid has 27 touchdowns. I don't know what the fuck he has. Yeah. So tell us the real logic and reasoning between Albert and Anthony Nunez.
So I wanted to play with Ant Nunez the whole year. I'd send David billions of trade throughout the year to get him, just because I like him. My whole team is people I like as people. Like if you haven't realized, like Andy, obviously my relationship with Andy. Andres is hilarious to me. Right. I think Andres is funny as shit. And then Ant Nunez, Ant Nunez, when we went to Vegas, he went with Kevin because Kevin went with Eddie in Sports Mania. Right. And bro, that guy got blasted with me at the park. Like, and I was like, yeah, this is a guy that I would like on my team. But I really hadn't seen him. And then he had been balling out. He had run the hitch post on Chris. Like he had been balling out. So it brings the value of speed. It brings the value that it's someone that I still enjoy to play with, like Albert. Mm-hmm. And bro, Ant Nunez was a rusher before everything else that he was before.
He was. I mean, he's taught me a lot.
He's potentially a top 3, top 4, top 5 rusher in DD. I would say it's probably Kevin, Timmy, Ernie, Pepito, and Nunez. I would say Kevin, and then whatever order you want to put the next 4 in.
Right. That's the thing. Ant Nunez really never rushed in done deal. I don't think I've ever seen him like that.
So he brings that value to it. And then at the same time, I feel comfortable with him getting physical with other people and keeping up with people. Like, let's say I play the Niners this week, right? Mm-hmm. Let's just call it what it is. Alfarito is faster than Albert. And Nunez could stay with Alfarito. Then I take care of whatever. And then it's just a better matchup situation. If I want to play man, which I play zone most of the time. But it's a better matchup situation.
So let me ask you a question. Are you saying right now here, today, in the hot seat, that Anthony Nunez will shut down Alfarito?
Oh, 100%.
Ding, 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 ding. You heard this right. We have the game of the week. We have the Packers versus the 49ers, a matchup that everybody's been waiting for. Anthony Nunez versus Alvarito. Who will take the dub there?
Well, I
Wow.
just want to say that the first time we played the 49ers, we beat them 4-1, and it wasn't even a game.
Oh, shit. I'm out here trying to hype this game up, and it might not even be a game.
That's just it.
Wow.
And they got ball first.
And they got buffers. So you're more than confident. You're going to get the stops. You're more than confident. Anthony Nunez is going to Alvarito.
Yep.
And it's going to be a dominant win. What's the prediction on that ball game?
Give me 4-2 us. Give me 4-2.
4-2.
I think they score one more.
One more than that's what. Yeah. Okay.
Just because it's hard to beat a team twice, but it's also the fact that Jordan or Bain have been doing really well at that handoff action.
How much do you care about stats?
Star comes first, always. And that's why I tell him the Packers chat every week. Until this week was the first time I mentioned something about stats.
I heard about that.
I was like, if you guys
Talk to
need
me
help,
about that.
if you guys need help, let me know. If Nunez, if you want to tie the record, because right now he's at 17, let's figure out a way to help him.
Right.
Let's say that was one example. But if you're winning, the stats come with it at the end of the day. Except for maybe like picks. That's probably the only one, which I don't even know how I've caught 7 picks because I'm atrocious on defense, and I'll openly admit this. It just happens, but this stats come with winning. If you want the star and you're doing well like we are, and even before I made this titanic trade that I made before the deadline, everybody on my team was in a statistical category because you're winning. So it correlates.
So
now at the same time, I'm not saying this, that for example, John and I would go back and forth about who has the most passing touchdowns, who has more total touchdowns, but that's more a competitive thing between me and him.
Right.
For example.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, I'm in the same mindset. At the end of the day, look, I have my thing that I talk shit. I missed one whole week and I got like 11 touchdowns, and I'm here talking shit to all the people that are under me, making fun of them. It's a funny thing.
Right.
But to me, as long as it never gets to the team, as long as they know that we're gonna win, because it's like you said, I heard that I think Andres got a pick 6 or something like that, or no, he ran it for a handoff, right?
Yeah, he ran
it for a handoff, and then you were like, "Yo, bro, like."
No, I didn't say it in game. I said it in the chat. I'm like, Andres, maybe if you didn't run in that ball, maybe I could get 60 touchdowns. But you know what? I'm not salty.
Right. But
like something like that. But I don't give a fuck because ultimately, I'm still 10-2. No one else is, so it doesn't matter.
You're the number 1 seed. But I'm just letting you know that if more situations like that would have happened, that I would have if I would ever hear it on the field, that would question, at least for me, my MVP vote, because to me, the MVP is all about the team.
I agree with you. I would never say that on the field. Dude, we're winning, and dude, I don't care. Like you see it on the field. I care about what's going on in the game first.
No, you're always locked in. I'll give you that.
Yeah, there's nothing going through my mind but what's my next play call and how do I adjust my defense.
Right. So trading is a big thing in Done Deal. Obviously, the captains have a lot of the power in Done Deal, but we could easily the tiers 2, 3, 4s or whatever. Some certain ones have a bigger voice. Like for example, Mendoza was the tier 5. He was a big voice in the Broncos. I will speak about myself. I feel like I'm a big voice on my team. So there's different tiers, different levels. There's different players that have a voice. A lot of players get butthurt, or they feel they're like, fuck, man, I'm getting traded to a worse team. I'm getting traded to a bad team. For example, Andres was in a bad team. He got traded to a better team. He's probably happy about that. There was a season before I got hurt. I got traded like 3 or 4 times. I ended up in a bad team, but we ended up pulling out and then coming to the playoffs. So if you weren't a captain, if you were one of us, how would you say to best handle the situations of being traded? This is my people in the future of Done Deal might see this and they might not understand the whole trading thing. So I want them to understand, like, yo, bro, if you get traded 2, 3, 4 times, you should have this mentality.
Bro, at the end of the day, it's about balling out for whatever team you're at. For example, if you're balling out, you're probably not going to get traded. Let's be honest. Yeah, unless you're John and I who sell your stock high.
Right.
That's about it. Like, when I traded for Marcos and Andy, I would have been fine with my team. But at the same time, I was saying to myself, I'm going to try to boost Marcos' stock as much as I can because I'm still missing a tier 2 ultimately. I have 2 tier 3s, a tier 4, and a tier 5. So unless you're one of us two, you're probably not going to get traded if your stock is high. Look at Ant Nunez. David makes a trade Ham and Enzo first week because he didn't like the way Enzo was playing, but he liked the way Ant Nunez was playing. Same thing with Fernie. David, they're balling out. David doesn't want to trade them. But look at this. David gets the trade he's finally asking for and getting Chris D. That's when he finally makes a trade. Unless you're getting something really appealing when you're balling out, you're not going to get traded. To me, that's the way I look at it. Because I was really reluctant on not trading Albert. Like I had said it several times. I was like, he's untradeable. I'm not trading him. But Marcos goes down. That changed my whole mentality. Now it's a yard sale except for Andy because I'm not going to trade Andy. Like It would have been something for me to be crazy to trade Andy, honestly, because I want to play with Andy.
Right. So that's like the really dope part about the deal. Obviously, all these trades, and you get to play with who you want and all that. But I do agree with the perspective that you're saying is that if I'm one of the top teams, right, and there's a specific player, there's something that I really want, I'm gonna feed this guy. I mean, Johan is the king of that. He's like, bro, he's gonna make somebody look so good that it's gonna bring his value up, and then he's gonna trade him, right? So, in your opinion, well, not in your obviously no one that you've traded for already, but anybody on your team, name me one player that you would trade for in done deal that one player like you would trade anybody on your team for this specific guy that you would really have loved to play with.
I'll give you 3.
Give me 2.
Jeremy and you.
Why Jeremy?
Because I like him as a person.
Oh, why me?
Because I think you're a mismatch and a baller at tier 4.
Oh yeah, Jeremy's definitely my top 5. That guy, and the way that he plays, like, cause he was getting a lot of shit because now he's playing receiver. He used to play quarterback back then for Done Deal in the seasons before, and this year he's showing it out. Like, people like to give credit to Kevin and all this and that, but like at the end of the day, the team as a collective, like they're slowly sinking in, and I think a big part of it is Jeremy. Jeremy's been literally balling out for them.
Jeremy at corner is also really underrated, bro. That guy, he's long as hell. He doesn't miss flags, and he knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
he's one of the top corners in DD.
I mean, there was one year I believe he tied for interceptions. He was tied for number 1 interceptions.
He picked me up this week.
I saw that. He picked you up. How many interceptions do you have this season?
2.
Oh, garbage. All right, let's move on. So let's say done deal, not including yourself. Done deal, there's 50 players, so there's 49 players, right? I'm not talking about a captain. I don't want you to give me a captain in this situation. Name me one player that you would pay $20 to not play with. Don't say Timmy. You're like, bro, I'm not playing with this guy. Here, bro, Andres, $20, bro. Get yourself some fritanga. I don't know. Let me know. 20. Who?
I'm trying to think. Wow. There's really, I don't think there's anybody that's popping out the top of my head, honestly. And I'm not trying to duck any questions. I'm not.
No, Pablo, you're not ducking this question because I'm gonna name you all the players.
Give me some names.
Give you all the players.
I'll think of one that I haven't said either. But I'm not including Kieran because I already said that.
Let's go team by team. All right. So we have the, let's say, the 49ers. In the 49ers, we have Jordan doesn't count.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Right there. Jules. Right there.
Why?
I can't deal with that. I can't deal with people up here. Bro, if you're not thinking and you're not playing with your head, with your brain, yes. As I think you guys said it when CC bailed on you the first time and you had to do that little talk with you, John, and Andres. Bro, talent-wise, he's a tier 2. Bro, up here, he's a tier 5. He has no idea what he's doing sometimes on the field, and I can't deal with that shit.
So you're saying that he's pretty much like
he's a liability on defense? Yes, he's a ball hawk when he's around the ball. But if he's on dude, I ran a backside fake with a post left, and he like, they were playing man, right? Mm-hmm. He just let Ernie go because he was like, oh, my guy left. That's how Ernie scored one of his touchdowns. Bro, I can't deal with that shit. I cannot. Especially for me, who you play zone, because I can't play man. Because I hate that. I think it's the easiest thing to expose, especially if you're in bunch. You have to think. You have to play with your brain.
Right. So,
but I think the talent's there. Don't get me wrong. I think the talent's there. I just can't.
You're saying the talent's there on one side of the ball.
Offensively, he's great. Defensively, he's a liability, but he's also not thinking offensively because if I give someone a read, right?
So
I'm not gonna give many people reads. Like I give Andy reads, I give Ant Nunez reads. I even gave Andres a read. Like I told Andres to run post corner. I was like, take your post as much in as you want. Because they didn't rush. I don't know why. But if that's the case, dude, if you can't read and like find an open spot, like if the safety's playing center field and he runs a curl, that happened to Albert a bunch of times. I told Albert run a post from tight. He was playing center field. Albert ran a curl. That's being smart. That's having IQ. Yes, Albert's played for many years, but you have to have IQ to play. If not, you're te jodiste. Like you have to play with your brain.
All right. So let's say this game that's gonna happen, 49ers versus Packers. It sounds like it might be one of the games of the week. I mean, I don't know if I played during that time, but Andres, if you're hearing me, I want to ref that game. So in your opinion, name me a team that does not scare you at all. You cannot name the Chiefs and you cannot name the Panthers. So if you were to face this team in the playoffs, you're not even worried about them. Who?
I think the cop out answer is the football team, but they don't scare me. All right, you guys.
Solid team.
You guys.
Okay, cool. I already beat you, so I don't know. Like,
but you guys don't have Ernie, and you guys won because Ernie pulled my flag by barely half a millisecond, and I didn't have Andy, which you guys had a bigger mismatch that day.
I wish I would play you 16 games this year.
because you guys didn't sub. So if you're on the field, let's say realistically, you're on the field, and either if Charlie rushes and you guys give that handoff, now Charlie's on G. I love Charlie, but he's not covering G. And if we don't rush, Charlie's covering you. Let's just call a spade a spade. You're gonna eat him.
Right.
So.
All right. So
I just think you guys losing Ernie's big, bro. You guys losing Ernie's huge.
It is huge. It is huge. And we brought in this guy, Eric.
He's not bad, but he's just.
I've never met him. I mean, I met him, but like I've never played with him, so I don't know how he plays.
You lose a lot of athleticism.
I feel like he's a very smart guy, though.
Yeah, he is.
From what I'm hearing, I feel like he knows the game a lot. So we'll see. We'll see if we can make a little comeback. You know, we dug ourselves in a little hole, but that's our fault, regardless of Ernie being out. I feel like we should still have won some of that last game, and there's no excuses for that. So good job for all those teams of taking advantage and getting those dubs. So in your opinion, in done deal, who's the most overrated player?
Wow. Tier 2.
It's a player that you see and you're like, bro, like why did people like freaking hype this guy up so much? Bro, this guy's not even that good. Like, dude, like, man.
Yeah. I like him, but I think he's a very big defensive liability. Bender.
So
even though I did try trading for him, but I think I could disguise him on defense. But on offense, he's a mismatch for anybody, no matter what.
Right.
But on defense, bro, G routed him on an out and up with you guys to win the game.
Oh,
bro, that guy gets – and Andy locked him down this weekend too. That guy is up and down, and on defense, he's a liability.
I mean, there's a one point that Bender was a tier 4 last season. He was the best tier 4.
Oh, but
this and that. No. But he didn't perform. He didn't perform.
Okay.
The kid only had 12 touchdowns. I'm not – listen, bro, I'm salty as fuck. I got hurt last season. The kid only had 12 touchdowns in the whole season. Now he's going to say, oh, but my team, I got traded. Babo, I got traded 4 times. I don't make excuses. Next, who's the most underrated player?
I can't say Albert, I'm assuming.
That's a bailout. That's
would you consider G underrated?
I think G is as good as some of the late tier 2s. Like, call me crazy. I would take Alfarito over G.
Yes.
But I don't think it's that far off. Because G brings so much knowledge. He's such a smart guy. He's a great listener. I feel like him and Alfarito offensively are practically almost equal. Maybe Alfarito's obviously faster, but I don't think it's
Alfarito eats, bro. That's one thing I have to give him. And Anthony Nunez.
I mean, I'm not knocking Alfarito. I'm saying Alfarito. I would pick Alfarito over G, but I think G's around there. That's my thing. I think he's a late tier 2.
So you're saying I can't say G. G would definitely be up there. Bro, after week 1, I
But
thought Jeremy was horrible after week 1 because I like honestly, but CC had him rushing. He had him in whatever. Chris did not do a good job with him. But bro, I really like Jeremy, honestly. And after week 1, I thought this guy was I didn't think he was horrible,
but
but I
this
was
is how
like
you have to think about it. You really like it, and I'm saying he's underrated, right? Where did he get drafted? He got drafted.
late tier 2. Bro, that's what I'm saying. That I saw him after week 1, and I'm like, damn, how did this guy go late tier 2? Like he's horrible. Like he's not playing quarterback, which is what he was drafted at.
Right.
He got torched on a post by Andy, and he was rushing, which is none of the things he does well. I was like, well, this guy's a tier 3, like late tier 3. Like what
So you're saying so you would have taken Jeremy with that last pick in tier 2?
Oh,
I,
100 for me.
I'm not sure if he
100%.
took Champ or Jeremy, but
He
let's just
took
say he
Jeremy.
took.
100%. If I was in that tier, if I was in Chris's spot, I think I'd probably go. I mean, Jeremy didn't go to the scrimmage I went to, but I don't mind Jeremy that late, especially for me, who he could play corner. That's huge.
So that's big. You say you would pick Jeremy there, but then you miss out on a bunch of different players. You could have had at
And Nunez, but that's what I'm saying. That like if you just, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But I don't mind Jeremy in that spot if you know how to use him correctly. But CC didn't.
I think underrated players. If
I'm
anybody
also
ever asks me that
I'm
question,
also I'm
I
also
think
probably
At Nunez should be earlier.
no man, not after this, not after this season. You can't say Anthony Nunez is underrated. Maybe Manu's underrated. Fernie's underrated.
I'm going off where they get drafted. That's where I'm going off. Like where the position that they get drafted.
Okay.
That's what I'm going off. So in my
Okay,
opinion,
then
Anthony
give
Nunez should
me
be drafted a little bit more earlier. Obviously, Albert should be drafted way more earlier, but that's a cop out answer. You know
that's why I said. That's why I said. Then if you're gonna say that, bro, if you're gonna say that, Alec was the first pick in tier 5.
That's true.
If you're going by that matter, it's just I'm thinking of performance this year. That's why I didn't think of Alec. I didn't think of any guys. I'm going by performance, not where they were drafted. If you want to say that, Alec and Manu. Manu was the last pick in tier 4. Alec was the last pick in tier 5. That's absurd.
In done deal, who's the third best quarterback?
Berra.
100%, not even close.
Not even close.
Who's the fourth best? Just out of curiosity. Or is there no one on that level that you would say is good?
I think there's a drop off. Don't get me wrong.
Huge drop off.
I think there's significant drop off, but bro, I'm a big. As long as I'm not forgetting anybody, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I'm a big Orbain guy. I like Orbain a lot.
Yeah.
I think he throws. He made one ball to Julian that hit him straight in the head on a bomb. It was perfect.
His touch is stupid. He has great touch.
Yeah. I'm a really big on Orbain. I like Chris J, but again, he hasn't shown me much, so I can't put him up there. I haven't seen Alec play quarterback, but CC said that he's the worst one. So, but I'm not gonna count him.
Right.
Give me Orbain as the 4th.
So, out of all the starters right now in the deal that play quarterback, who's the worst quarterback?
Marshall's a cop out. Chris J.
Yeah. I
mean,
it goes back to what you said. Yeah.
Yeah, he's being used incorrectly.
Alrighty. So, any specific question that on top of your head that you would want to ask me? It could be. I'll be 100% honest. Make it good. Even though I'm a walking hot seat, so it doesn't really fucking matter.
If you were a captain and you had the first overall pick and everybody was available, who are you picking?
If I was a captain and I had the first overall pick, so I'm not. Who went for? I'm not picking Matt. Definitely not doing that. Oh, Timmy went next. Timmy. Then who went after Timmy? Brett.
Ham.
Then I'm not picking Ham. Fuck that.
And then Alfarito.
I'm not picking Alfarito. Damn. Now that I think about it, these tier 2s were not as good as previous years. Because maybe previous years there was this kid named Justin that was very good.
I've seen Justin. Justin's good.
But
I like Timmy and Brett at tier 2. Both of them are very solid tier 2.
Honestly,
they're the two best tier 2s.
It sucks because I really wanted to play with Brett this year, and I never got the chance to play because I missed week 1, and then he ended up missing week 2.
Week 2, yeah.
So I'm not gonna say Timmy because he's good, but as like the number one option to, I'll probably go Brett. Because I was really excited to play with Brett this year because he doesn't get tired. He's in stupid shape. He'll run every single deep ball. He might not be the fastest, but he'll bail you out. He'll bail you out
that's
out
the
of any
thing.
situation.
I
You
was
throw it
talking.
up to him, he'll bail you out.
I was talking to Perra. I talk to Perra very often, but I was talking to him yesterday, and I was like, bro, Brett and CC out wide is a complete mismatch for the league.
Yep.
Because to me, CC's the best receiver in DD, and it's because Lewis isn't in it.
Lewis, yeah, I don't know yet. This season, for sure. CC is the
Yes.
best route runner, best receiver. Yeah, no, that's not even
And then
close.
you can make the argument like you just did that Brett's he's the best receiver at tier 2. I think Timmy's better than him all around because Timmy just does everything except for throw. Don't let Timmy throw. It's horrible. But Timmy rushes, like I said earlier. Timmy can play defense. He knows what he's doing, and he can play offense.
Like I said, it goes back to the thing. And I'll be honest with you. If I was a captain in done deal, which it will never happen, guys, by the way, I talk a lot of shit, even though I'll get score on half of them. I would draft way better than some of these fucking captains. I would draft better than Marsh. I would draft better than Remy. Better than Chrissy. I would draft better than so many of these captains, and my team will make the fucking playoffs. And I would be the tier 1, which is bad, obviously. So I'm just saying, these captains next season for the future, bro, do your fucking reports, bro. Go to scouting, watch more football. I don't know what you do, how to draft for dummies, or I'll buy the book for you. I don't know what the fuck
I also got one more question for you.
Go.
Who wins the Mamba Bowl?
Who wins the Mamba Bowl? I'm safe.
I'm not gonna be here. I'm already gonna be at school. So,
top of my head, I was thinking Peaky.
Okay.
But I don't think Peaky understands done deal and how it works. And now that I really think about it, it's 5-on-5
with no throwbacks.
With no throwbacks. So I think I don't think he's gonna do well. I don't think Peaky's gonna do that well with having like scrubs on his team. It was funny. I think Lewis messed up in having the last pick. I mean, in having the last pick, because that means he's gonna have the worst player. Because it's
Lewis have the last pick.
Yeah, because it's
Snake.
It's Snake, and it's 6 players at the on one team.
Right.
So I'm gonna go with Yohan because he knows done deal. Like he knows the system. He knows what he's gonna do, and I think it's gonna be close. But my wild card, I'll say Lulu. That'll be like
really,
my wild card. So I'm gonna go and I'm ask you rapid fire questions, right? So very simple. Don't complicate it. Short answers. You ready?
Yep.
Favorite porn star?
Lana Rhodes.
Favorite athlete?
They be dead.
Can they be dead? Yeah.
Kobe Bryant.
Okay. Your favorite done deal player?
Albert.
Okay, me. Thank you. All right, red zone or done deal?
Done deal.
Good. Celebrity crush?
Wow. Probably Zendaya.
Wow. Oh, nice. Marcus or Ernie?
Ernie.
Good trade. Albert or Anthony Nunez?
I got rid of a tier 5. Let's relax.
Albert or Anthony Nunez? I said, so stop explaining. Albert or Anthony Nunez?
Anthony Nunez.
MVP prediction?
Myself.
Okay. And week 5. Who's gonna be the week 5 dud? Everybody's been wrong.
Let me see the schedule. Off the top of my head. You know what? I'm going to continue with the trend. Jules,
damn. So you guys heard it here first. Jules, I know you're going to watch this. So I hope you're hungry because I can't wait to watch this game. So, ladies and gentlemen, week 5, the last hot seat. We got to have Nico because he's probably not going to be in the next done deal season because he's going to be in college, out there. Got to make sure that we follow up on how you're doing. But hopefully in the future you get to join maybe some of these tournaments or whatever. You just get to fly in or something because there's definitely going to be a few of these, bro. So thank you for being honest and giving me a great hot seat. So anything you want to say to done deal?
Go Pack, baby. And looking to log up that 1 seed this week. And 49ers are going
all right, gentlemen, you heard it here first. 49ers are shit. Rookie of the year, Nico, not even questioned.
They still get that number 1 seed. They still make the playoffs, though. Let me get this straight. They still make the playoffs.
Niners still make the playoffs. Nico, number 1 seed. In my opinion, MVP, unless he shits the bed. Andres is probably extremely happy to be playing with him right now. He's probably laughing right now as he's watching this. But yeah, see you guys out there week 5, and good luck covering me. Peace.
This guy, bro.